So if you guys remember, I had a call on stream, kind of a debate with ISM. We talked about a lot of different things like trans rights in particular, Donald Trump, a whole lot of things. And one of the things that we discussed is where is the line going to be with how far the American people are going to tolerate the woke agenda, like wokeness in America before we decide to push back and say, no, we've finally gone far enough. Because one point that I've been making throughout, multiple streams that I've done is that the far left, the woke mob, as they like to say, they have not really convinced anyone of their multiple delusions, right? They haven't really convinced a lot of people that men can be women and women can be men, or that there are like millions and zillions of genders. But what they've basically gotten people to do is acquiesce to to whatever they want to do, right? So it's like, hey, put men in women's restrooms. Like, no one really wants that. But, they've sort of used bully tactics to coerce folks into just accepting it, even if it's not something that they agree with. Like, you've got that whole thing going on. There's other stuff with the whole, like, LGBTQ agenda. And so one of the things that I've been, like, wondering is, what's the line going to be? Because you can only push people so far before, they decide to push back. For example, you could lead a cult and say, hey, you know what? Murder, killing is a good thing. It's a good thing to, cut somebody and let them bleed out until they die. It's one thing to say that, and you can maybe get people to nod their heads to that. But are you going to be able to get them to then turn on their boyfriend and girlfriend and then slit their throats? That might be a bridge too far. So while you've gotten the people to nod their head and acquiesce, yes, this is something that we're willing to do. When, it comes time to actually do it, you've found that line. People are like, actually, maybe no. Maybe I'm not going to kill my girlfriend or boyfriend just because you say so. I think likewise, we're beginning to see the line when it comes to the LGBTQ agenda. We talked about this last week with the whole Nick Merckx situation. And I think we're starting to see this. This is the line. It seems to be parents saying, no, we don't want this agenda pushed on our children. And this is coming from actually some pro-LGBT parents as well. And I think that this is, in general, a good thing. Because I think parents really are the future of the nation, because they shape, the kids who go on to, become politicians later on in life, to, who run industries that are the next CEOs in America. And so I find it extremely heartening to see parents pushing back, but not only that, people who aren't parents standing up with them and supporting them, whether that be folks in right-wing media or just normies who, like spouting off on Twitter and playing video games. Like, it's cool to see that the line has been drawn, which is don't mess with the kids. And we're seeing, Target finally getting dragged for this when they're trying to use their Cat and Jack line to, push androgynous and, LGBT-themed clothing on to children. Because we all know instinctively that, trying to sexualize children, teaching them sexual things. And I know that there are some weird people online saying, oh, well, if you're teaching, kids about LGBT stuff, you're not actually talking about sex. You're talking about sexual attraction and the sex that they think they are. Those are two totally different things. No, it's a distinction without a difference. If you're teaching LGBTQ stuff to children, you are teaching them sexual things. A lot of people are upset with using the word grooming to describe this, but grooming is not something that just Discord moderators do. Although Discord moderators certainly do this, grooming is also something that's it's just another word for conditioning. To groom someone is just a condition them. And that's what the left wants to do. They want to groom them into being these like pro-LGBT foot soldiers, when maybe that's not what the parents want the children to do, or maybe maybe the parent wants to teach the child about LGBT stuff themselves. We saw that TikTok that went viral about a week or two ago with the parent who, was holding up her little baby who's not even a year old and saying, "A gay baby, my baby's gay." Like, bro, there are going to be parents who are going to indoctrinate their children based on these things. But what's extremely heartening is that the good parents are not going to do so. And I think this is the line. This is the line. It's no longer controversial to, whether or not kids should be taught all these sexual things in school. It's not controversial because the consensus is now, no, these children should not be taught these things in school. It's very, very awesome to see. And I hope that we see more movements like this because I don't like I just don't like conditioning of people en masse. Like, parents should be raising the kids, period. It should not be the state. It should not be, the television, whatever. It really should be the parents. This is why I also take umbrage with the show Tuttle Twins, which is literal right-wing propaganda as well. It's like, no, it's like, teach children, an appropriate thing, an appropriate setting, and don't mix in the politics in your political agenda with entertainment either. Because I don't think that there's like much room for ideology and messaging in a prescriptive sense, right? Inside of entertainment. I'm not a big fan of that either. But it'll be interesting to see how companies respond. We've already seen tons of companies backpedaling on the rainbow capitalism that they've been performatively engaging in during Pride Month. Pride Month seems to be just like a trans person, completely neutered. We have not really seen as many, rainbow colored icons or anything like that all over social media like we used to. Not tons of gay ads and things, which I think has certainly been a win. Now, I don't think that Pride Month is going to be gone forever because it's just like Juneteenth, right? Juneteenth did have a lot of backlash from, folks on the right. And while, yes, Juneteenth has been a bit subdued, it's not something that's as boisterously celebrated. It's still something that Black people love to celebrate. I think the same thing's going to happen with Juneteenth, where all the gay people, all the trans people, all the LGBT folks are going to continue to, enjoy their Pride Month in peace, but straight people are no longer going to be as forcefully coerced into participating. And I think that's probably a good thing. It's probably where things should be, in general. Let the proud people be proud, right? Let the pride people have pride, and then let the straight people be straight. Like, don't try to gayify everyone. It's so weird how all these people are trying to push their beliefs onto everyone. And it's kind of cult-like if you think about it. But at the end of the day, it looks like things are moving into a good direction, and that makes me happy.